Hey guys, it's Alexandra. Today I'm going to be talking with Ethan, or Emoney. He is a rapper from Los Angeles. You might recognize him from season 6 of the MTV show, Are You the One? He's going to be talking all about his experience on the show, his music, sobriety, all kinds of interesting stuff. So I think you'll really enjoy hearing from him. I hope you'll stay tuned to check him out and subscribe for more videos. All right, thanks so much.
A few years ago, me and my friend Ty Verdes made a song called Happy Place.
Take me to my happy place where the rain don't pour. I don't wanna feel this in my brain no more. Every day gets harder than the day before, but still I keep on smiling till my face gets sore. In my happy place, take me to my happy place. Take me to my happy place.
This song's very special to me because I wrote it during the darkest time of my entire life. What's that, you ask? It's when I filmed the MTV dating show, Are You the One? While filming this show, I had never felt more out of place in my life. Nobody wanted to talk to me, I didn't want to talk to them, so I just isolated myself. That was until one day, a guy was playing guitar, I walked up, and I wrote the lyrics to Happy Place on the spot. I had never had a song just write itself before, but that's a testament to the pain I was feeling. When we put the song out later, a kid left a comment that has stuck with me. He said he woke up that day planning to take his own life. That was until he heard the song Happy Place, and it inspired him to find his happy place. My happy place is when I make music. I learned that in the Are You the One house that day. I challenge you to find yours. How are you doing? Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So funny enough, I found you on TikTok through nothing that has to do with MTV. I was like, I didn't recognize like who you were. And so I just found some videos that just came across my For You page about your like sobriety journey and stuff. And I was like, hey, that's really cool that like he's talking about that. And then I looked deeper into it and I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Oh, you watched Are You the One season 6?
A
Oh,
little bit on and off. So I'm not like super up to date on everybody or anything like that, but I would love to know like how you were introduced to like being on that show, like what that experience was like for you.
yeah. So for Are You the One, the experience was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was going to be me thrown in a house with insanely hot people, and then my insecure, confidence issues ridden self was going to just have to, try my best to thrive in that situation. I didn't really thrive though. I was doubting myself. I felt never in my life had I felt more like I was just not enough. I felt like I didn't deserve to talk to any of the girls because not only were these dudes better looking than me in my opinion, but they were also like younger, more fun. They were just, in my eyes, they were just better than me. So I just kind of hung by myself, tried to say funny stuff in the interviews and literally counted down the days until it was over. It was rough.
So is that something like, do you like apply for that or did somebody reach out to you to be on it? How did you like get involved in even that experience?
Yeah, so it was I work in reality TV casting, funny enough. So I was like just like working, and then through the people I know, they were like, Are You the One's casting? They want to talk to you. And I was like, what's Are You the One? And they were like, oh, it's just some MTV show. And I hated the current job I was at. I just kind of hated everything about my life at that point. So I was like, honestly, anything that isn't casting game shows sounds fun to me. So I signed up for it. I did the interview, not thinking I would get it. Funny enough, they just, for some stupid reason, put me on the show. And, that was just a crazy chapter of my life.
So how does it feel? Like, I think one thing that's really ironic kind of about that experience is that you think like it would be the best time and it would be so much fun, but you talk about how that was like one of the worst times of your life.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm someone who needs my alone time. I'm not an extrovert. I'm one of those guys who like I could socialize for maybe like 2 hours a day, and then I just need to go be alone and recharge. I can't socialize 24/7. So, and that's the funny thing is like, I was having fun in the Are You the One house for the first 2 hours. I was like, this is great. And I was like, okay, now it's time for me to get some alone time. And then that moment I realized I can't have alone. There's no alone time in this house. So that's why it was so hard. I crave alone time. I can't function without it. And then I was so amazed at these other people on the show, how they could just be socializing and having conversations 24/7. I was like, because that's just not me. Wait, I forgot, what else was your question? Like how,
Like that being just a dark time in your life, how
yeah. And also I go through phases. I don't know, like phases of like manic and then sad. Like sometimes I'll be manic and I could strike a conversation with anyone and have the confidence to pull, I think, any girl in the world, just because I'm at that phase of my life where I'm manic. But then when it's the opposite, I just think I'm like worthless. So it was just bad timing because they caught me at a point in my life where I just felt worthless. So I walked into that house with no confidence and then left with less confidence than I even had coming into the house, which I thought couldn't be done. So it took a while for me. But then once the show aired, lucky enough, they gave me a good edit and they viewed me as like the funny, lovable guy, which I had some moments in that show that were not funny and not lovable. And I thought they were going to use those moments from me, but I think they felt so bad for me that they were just like, let's give this guy a good edit. So when it aired, everybody was like, I was one of the, I guess, fan favorites for the first few episodes. So then my confidence shot through the roof and I became this cocky guy and I became like a horrible version of myself. So it was just, that whole time in my life was just the two biggest extremes that I've ever been. It was either I was depressed when I was on the show, I was just depressed and lonely. And then when the show was airing, I thought I was Leonardo DiCaprio. I really thought I was the most important, coolest person in the world, which neither of those things I am. And now I've moved on and I've tried to find a happy medium.
So if I have this correct, did you write your song Happy Place with somebody that was on that show?
Yeah, me. That's good knowledge. You did your research. Me, I wrote. So basically, Keith, one of the guys on the show, he brought out his guitar. He started jamming. He just started randomly playing like the guitar, which is now the guitar for Happy Place. He started playing it. It was me, and just in a dark time, I wrote the hook, Happy Place, in 10 minutes, and then I sang it to Tyler, who's now this superstar who goes by Ty Verdes, but I sang the hook to him and he heard it and he was like, that's the best hook I've ever heard in my life. I need to sing it. And we were like, oh, you're a nobody. Here he is, like one of the biggest artists and up and coming artists in the world. But back then he was nobody. So I was like, oh, whatever. And then he was just so persistent. He was like, no, I need to sing the hook for Happy Place, for the song Happy Place that you wrote. And I was like, dude, I wrote this shit. This is my shit. And then finally, I was like, you know what? If it will get you off my ass, I'll let you sing those lyrics, kind of. And then he did such a great job with the vocals. Like his voice is obviously amazing. And then I did the verses. We put the song out, and people seemed to like the song. It's kind of stood the test of time. So that song was the best thing to come out of that experience, was the song Happy Place, for sure.
Awesome. And what does it mean to you? Like, what does that song mean to you?
Oh my God, it means so much to me. That song, Happy Place, really just like, it means that it represents smiling through the darkest times of your life. It's like, it's like every day gets harder than the day before, but still I keep on smiling till my face gets sore. It's like, sometimes you can't control how you feel. Sometimes you can't control how bad your days are and how fucked up the situation that you're in is, but you can control your attitude. So Happy Place is just like finding a way to keep a positive attitude during the darkest times of your life, which Are You the One was. It was the darkest time of my entire life.
And it's kind of funny because, like, as much as that sucked, like, look what came out of it. So,
right.
Pretty awesome.
Absolutely, for sure.
So I think it's interesting too that you talk about, how you think about being on a show like that. you would think people in that environment are so confident and so social, and you bring a perspective of it as like, it's not always what it looks like actually can be really uncomfortable. And
Right.
then deeper into that, you even talk about how like you will drink or would drink to numb that and make yourself feel like you can interact and be like the bubbly person that you
Mhm.
are. So how did that struggle with, alcohol? How did that start with you?
That's a great question. I mean, so alcohol is a thing that my entire life I didn't realize until I got sober recently, but like I didn't drink alcohol to have fun with my friends. I drank alcohol to escape who I was because I didn't like who I was and I wanted to escape myself. And I just and alcohol helps cure my anxiety, honestly. When I drink alcohol, my social anxiety is gone. I'm like I don't worry about the things that come out of my mouth. Being sober, everything I say, I like overanalyze in my head, and I'm like, why did I say that? But it's a contradiction because at the same time, I'm a guy who just says whatever's on my mind. So I'll say anything that comes to my mind, but I'll also second guess it. So I just drive myself crazy. In alcohol, I say what's on my mind and I don't second guess it. And then you could always use the excuse, sorry, man, I was drunk. I didn't mean it. So like it gives you a crutch. And that's, in college, after college, in majority of my 20s, I didn't know how to socialize without alcohol. Especially in the Are You the One house, because you're trapped, you're basically in jail. And the only thing that is sort of an escape from that fucked up situation is when they would give us alcohol on Are You the One. And I don't want to say like, look, I'm only speaking for myself. A lot of people had great experiences on Are You the One, probably because they had a better attitude than me and they were just at a better place mentally. Like, I'm not saying that the situation is fucked. I'm just saying that I had a bad experience personally. So, and alcohol was the only thing that, like, when I would get drunk in that house, that was literally the only time that I felt free. I mean, just the amount of alcohol that, like, we would fight because they gave us a limited supply of alcohol. So we would fight each other, scratch and claw. We would sprint to the bar where they would have the alcohol. We'd be elbowing each other. It was bad, So that, and then recently I just decided to take a break from it. And, I've been enjoying sobriety, that's for sure.
Awesome. So, what are some of the changes that you've noticed? Just kind of like, does it impact like how you write songs at all, or your music at all? Do you think that correlates at all with like your sobriety?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Writing songs when you're drunk aren't better. You're just telling yourself that you're being more creative. But the thing with writing songs while you're drunk, normally you just get halfway through and then you just start texting girls that you want to bang and you get sidetracked. Writing songs when you're sober, your sober brain is telling you, hey, don't get distracted. You have to finish this song, and you actually finish what you start when you're sober. That's what I learned. I'm a better songwriter when I'm sober because I have a clear mind. I know what's gonna be good. I work harder and I don't get a mental fatigue. Like, one of the big reasons that made me want to get sober is, like, I was in these studio sessions writing songs and I realized that there was we would be drinking and writing songs, and then at 10 p.m. every night there would be a threshold and I just couldn't go any longer because I was drunk. But then when I started writing songs sober, I could go until the wee hours of the morning. I had so much more mental stamina when I was sober. So that was a big thing. And then yeah, I mean, I just think artists who say that they write better songs when they're drunk are lying to themselves. I truly believe that.
When did you first get interested in music?
When I started making music when I was 13. Me and all my white friends from Sonoma, from like the suburbs of Northern California, we would ride bikes a lot and we loved rap music. And then we were just like, let's start a rap group together. And then we all just like wrote raps and they were very bad and cringy. But then it started to kind of phase. They just, it was a fad for them, but they were like, well, why? How come how come Ethan and how come Emoney's taking this shit seriously? We thought this was, I just kind of fell in love with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then in high school, I became known as like the one guy who really rapped at my entire high school, because it was like in the suburbs. Yeah, and then through college, it was just something that I kind of told myself, okay, I love rap, but like I got to get serious at some point. But it just kept, I couldn't help myself. I just kept making music, and it's just kind of become such a big part of me that I can't imagine myself ever living a life where I'm not making music and not always writing.
So who do you draw inspiration from?
I get inspiration from, a lot of people, but mainly it's people who I know personally who haven't made it yet and may never make it and find success, but they still are doing it because they love it. And they don't care that when they release a song, maybe it doesn't blow up. They don't care about that. They're just so unapologetic with their art. I have so many friends who continue to put music out, and they're not worried about the fame. They just do it for the love. And those are the people that I want to be. I mean, I would love to find success, but at the end of the day, I just want to be, I want to do it because I love it.
Awesome. So the stuff that you're putting out there, music and just your personality, you're very much just kind of like yourself. You're not, you know what I mean? You don't seem, what I've seen, to be anybody that curates anything too much. You just kind of out there, which I admire.
Thank you.
What are you hoping people take away from, what you're putting out there?
One of my biggest heroes is a comedian by the name of Patrice O'Neill. I don't expect you to know him because you're a little younger. He died in 2011, but he had a quote that resonated with me, and he said, "I don't even consider myself an entertainer. I'm a truth teller. I'm fighting to tell the truth." And my whole life is just like searching for the truth and then just telling it, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable. And also, I really love there's so much content on the internet of people that just like, it's so, like you said, it's curated, it's edited, it's it's just, people just package themselves to look cool, to look presentable. But like, I'm of the belief of like, whatever is on my mind, I love giving raw, unfiltered thoughts and putting it out to the world, because to me, that's just a breath of fresh air. I mean, there's so many people that even stand-up comedians, how they have, their material that they've been working on. It's just not fly to me when I see someone present something that they've rehearsed hundreds of times. I'm in the moment. I think the best content in the world is just in the moment. And that's why my favorite movie is Step Brothers, because a lot of those scenes are improv in the moment. They were just they just filmed for 20 minutes, said whatever was on their mind, and then they would choose the top 2-3 minutes of it. And then to this day, I watch the movie Step Brothers, and I've watched it 100 times, and it still cracks me up from start to finish. And my life goal is to create content and make people feel the same way that Step Brothers makes me feel. That's literally my only goal in life.
That's awesome. Love that movie. So that's a great thing to look up to. I didn't know. I had no idea that a lot of it was improv.
Oh, totally. It was just like they had a rough idea, and then they would just kind of riff off each other. It's amazing.
Makes so much sense now watching it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because you can't imagine, who actually would write that shit? I just can't imagine people writing that shit. It obviously was just it was improv. It was like a two amazing comedic improv actors just doing what they do best, and then them editing it down and turning it into a movie. I think there needs to be more movies like that. Like every time I watch a comedy on Netflix, a new comedy, I'm just like, it's just so painfully scripted, you know? Like, and that's why I think comedy movies have kind of died, because it's become too formulaic, and they're not really letting funny people just be funny. You know what I'm saying? So
what is coming up for you? Are you working on any projects right now?
that's a good question. Yeah, I'm just working on a bunch of songs, and I'm gonna release them. Gonna do a lot of that, and then I'm just gonna continue to do this TikTok thing. I mean, a lot of people tell me you can't make it just going on 1-minute rants on the internet. You're not going to be able to blow up. I really think I am. I think with this whole format, this thing that I've created, of just going on 1-minute rants, talking about whatever comes to my mind. I don't plan this shit. I don't script it. I just look in the camera and just riff and just rant on something. And over the last month, it's kind of been, a few videos have gone viral. I'm not making any money. I'm still nobody, but like I'm seeing a little bit of growth. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep doing that shit and just see how far it takes me, because the thing with being an entertainer, it's all about just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And like, I've tried a lot of different things, but the weirdest thing is that these like the shit that's the easiest to make for me, which is just going on a rant for 1 minute on TikTok, has been the thing that stuck the most. Whereas like making a song that's taken me hours, days to make, writing verses that just take just so long, that doesn't do as well on the internet than me just going on a rant about how cold brew should be illegal. So it's weird, but I'm just gonna keep just going on silly rants on TikTok and see how far it takes me, honestly.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not an algorithm expert, but do what you love to do. So the fact that you already love what you're doing, you win in that. Because I think it seems to be, based on my observation, there really is no rhyme or reason to it. So people chase this, like, I'm gonna get TikTok famous, but they're doing stuff that like they don't even really care about it. They're just trying whatever they can do.
Oh my God, it's insane. And people have become slaves to the algorithm, and they're always like, oh, the algorithm likes this. The algorithm isn't a person. Like, they act like the algorithm's like a human being who's just like trying to hold people down. No, you have to just make content that people want to share and that intrigues people, and then you'll do fine. Like, everybody's so worried about finding the trending sound and doing the trending dances, and nobody's at all focused on doing something unique. Like, God forbid you ever be unique on the internet, so
whatever goes viral, it's going to be the most random thing that, like, it's literally, they pull the most random video that you've done, and it just whatever, whoever creates in the comments or whatever.
Totally. And I have friends who like, it's sad because because with TikTok, if you post 50 videos, one of them is probably going to go viral. It's just the way it works. So I have friends who like did one random dance, a video that was like 15 seconds, didn't showcase any talent or originality. Lucky, and it just happened to go viral. So then they just continued to do what they did in that video, expecting other videos to go viral, and they're just freaking out. They're like, why is the algorithms holding me down, man? TikTok's trying to stop my shine. It's like, no, that's not the case. It's just that you're not original, but people don't want to hear that. And I don't want to tell them it either. I just want everybody to have fun. Sorry.
You're good. When you go forward in your music, what would be like the dream collaboration for you?
That's a great question, man. There's a lot of dream collaborations. I would say Skizzy Mars. I've been a big fan of Skizzy Mars. I just love his here's a guy who his songwriting's it's just him. I like when you because I don't really like pop music because it just feels like you could tell when there's 10 people who wrote a song and they're just trying to it's just formulaic. I like independent artists who have their own voice. So Skizzy Mars, in my eyes, he's an artist who has his own voice. Marky Basie, another artist, dream collaboration. Obviously John Mayer, one of the greatest guitar players of our generation, you know. And then another dream collaboration is Ty Verdes. You know, he's I've already collabed with him, but you know, it seems like the guy has gotten a little too famous for Emoney, which I totally understand. But the reason that's a dream collaboration is because I would only be able to work with him, I feel like, and just people at that level, I would only be able to work with them if I got my numbers up and if I reached a level of success. So I would just have to succeed a little bit more, and yeah, would love to get back in the studio with that guy. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Good luck with everything. It was such a pleasure to meet you. And I'm sure, you know, whatever you do, you'll end up being happy doing it because, you know, music, you can't really go wrong playing music because it's something you enjoy, you know, it's
Totally.
success that you reach.
It's I really appreciate you for having me on, and you know, we'll see what happens from here.
All right. Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Thank you. Great to meet you too. We'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, bye.